So everybody wants to make wealth and everybody wants to do well financially. Everybody wants to have a lot of money to be able to live a very, very successful life. But the truth is, you see, it's not about just wishing, because if wishes were horses, trust me, beggars would ride. But now, you have to understand that there are things that you need to do in order to create that wealth. But the thing is, most people don't even have the information. Most people don't even have the knowledge for them to even try to execute. Okay? So I'm going to be educating you with the 4 levels of value to understand where you belong. Do you understand? And then you begin to take the actions that's going to create that wealth that you desire. Now, number 1, you have to understand that we have 4 levels of value. What are the 4 levels of value? We start by implementation. After implementation, we have unification. After unification, we have communication. And after communication, we have imagination. Now, wealth is created from the very top 2 that I mentioned. That is from imagination and communication. And I know some people will say, why do you have to say that? It's because that's how life works. Are you aware that from the very beginning of creation, God actually created the world with communication? Yes, God created the world with communication by just speaking out those things and it came into existence. And that's how basically wealth is created. Now, implementation has to do with your physical resources. Do you understand? You having to multiply your physical resource with time. And trust me, because time is limitless, there is no way that you will have unlimited results. And so anything that you ascribe and you multiply by time is going to give you a limited result. And so if you're working on that implementation, everything you do is going to have a limited resource. Do you understand? You having to work for money, to exchange your time for money, that is under implementation. And trust me, you're not going to create wealth that way. Now, the third, I'm going to start from the bottom to the top. The third level of value, which is the unification, has to do with you having to, control people who are going to do the work. Do you understand? So you having to control or to supervise people who are doing the implementation level is a higher level of value. That's why managers always have more money than people who do the work themselves. Do you understand? And if you operate under unification, trust me, you will still have limited resources. Wealth starts being created from communication. Like I said, you have to understand how to communicate very well. The moment you begin to speak very well, the moment you begin to articulate yourself very well, that is the moment where wealth is created. And trust me, the last one, which is the imagination, happens to do with how you think, how your mindset operates. Do you understand? So if you really want to create wealth, you have to think exceptionally. Do you understand? You have to think not just like how normal people think. You have to think like an entrepreneur. You have to think like a solution provider. You have to think in a way whereby you give people solutions and then you create wealth. And that's the reason why people who think and people who maximize their thoughts in a way that creates solutions for mankind have more wealth than people who have to do the work themselves. And that's the reason why a person who builds houses, that's a person who carries blocks and do the implementation work, will not have as much wealth as somebody who has to think, do you understand, and create ideas that will. So your ideas will definitely create more wealth for you than your physical muscles. Do you understand? So anytime somebody is trying to tell you that work hard, all they're trying to tell you is to work hard, thinking smart. Okay? So working hard does not create wealth, but you have to think and grow rich. And so if you've not read the book by Napoleon Hill that says Think and Grow Rich, I advise that you try to read that book to make you understand how the mindset of thinking bring in wealth.